football and music practically go hand in hand. So it got me thinking, why don't we delve into the rank bank and look at 10 football shirts worn by the world's biggest musicians. Hello, kit heads. We are talking kit, the home of the greatest football content in the world. It's Wednesday. It's around about 6 o'clock. It means one thing and one thing only. We are back in the rank bank for 10 more shirts that our lovely rankers have spent some time wallowing over and scoring. So we're back. You know what it is. This is what it's all about. The main show on this channel. The reason why everyone watches Talking Kit, pretty much, unless you just like everything that we do, and then you watch every kind of show that we do. But we only do 2, so it makes no sense. Anyway, we are back with another great episode. 10 more shirts, like I say, to look through. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This is one I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. This theme was going to be when we did the podcast. We used to do the Talking Kit podcast back in the day. This was going to be a whole episode of that old school podcast. So I'm glad we can do a full kit rankers on it. We've got some experts in the field as well to come and rank alongside us, which is great. Actually, he's the reason why this episode exists, to be fair, having a chat with him, but we'll get to him in a little second. Before we do that, as always, if it is your first time talking kit, or maybe it's not, you talk kit all the time, be sure to smash a like on the video. We'd also like you while you're here to subscribe to the channel. That would be great as well. And whatever you do, just share it with your kit-loving friends. There's plenty of kit lovers out there. So, yeah, let them know about the world of Talking Kit. But yeah, before we get into the guests, obviously I've got Sean here with me, who's very, very happy. Happy man right now. Obviously, his team are off to Wembley. One more game, Old Stockport County. You were there. Second pitch invasion on the bounce. How are you feeling?
I don't condone it.
Especially after the club told you not to. But yeah, that's fine.
Once the stewards open the gates, and what can you do? You just go towards the flow of fans. Touch that hallowed turf. Hopefully, it won't be in vain. But if it is, you didn't have to
do Gary Neville and wipe your ass on it, did you? You know what I mean? That was a bit too far. Gary Neville? No, Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker.
That one.
Gary Lineker. There's too many Garys.
He wouldn't have done that. Not these days.
No, he wouldn't.
Public image would have been soiled, so to speak.
Gary Lineker wiped his ass. You didn't have to do that.
Best game of my life, I think, so far. Almost surpassing the 2008 playoff final win against Rochdale. It was highs and lows.
Fair enough. So you going to Wembley?
Yeah, got my ticket.
Mate, what a result. Well, I hope you do it. It'd be nice for you. Someone who's not getting promoted this season, unfortunately. But, you know, he's still handsome. He still looks great in a football shirt. It's obviously Zeke. He's back. Hi, mate.
Hello.
I didn't mean to rub it in, mate.
No, there was a little dig there, but I don't mind too much. But yeah, we've been great this season. We've been really, really good. No, I mean, I can't really complain too much because we're obviously up and down. We've got lots of good memories in the past, however many years. So I don't really mind too much.
It wasn't a dig, mate. It was just a terrible segue. That's all it was. I was going from one team to another. That's all it was. Hey, Norwich are becoming my second team, mate, as you can tell. You know, second week running. I had one on last week, which you were happy about. I understand. So listen, there's no digs here, mate. It's we're part of the family, aren't you? So I would not do that to you.
Exactly.
And lastly, our final guest. The reason why this whole theme is happening this evening, we had a little chat on the DMs, and I've worked what he does as a living into full kit rankers, which is great. It's Josh Reeves. How are you doing, pal? How's everything going?
Yeah, all good. Thank you so much. A debut. Do I get like a little cap like the England players get?
In the post, mate, along with your Talking Kit mug as well. It's all in the post. But no, mate, it's a pleasure to have you on. Like I say, if you've probably seen the thumbnail, so the theme this week is pop stars or musicians wearing football shirts. Obviously, football and music go hand in hand for years upon years. Before any of us were born, it's been a thing. So Obviously, if you don't know, Josh works for Radio 1. And we thought, what a great culmination of football shirts and music that we get to just sit here and look at 10 pop stars wearing some of the best or worst football shirts that have ever existed. Some of them you may see right now, and then we'll get into the list a little later on. So going through the 10, how did everyone find this week's shirts? Did you enjoy ranking them? Did you think it was a bit or it was hard because there was some bangers in there? How did we feel?
I found it easy. There was a few obvious ones. I did different this way. I normally go from first to 10th. Did it 10th to first. Couple of bad ones. All the rest were pretty sorted in the place. It depends who the celeb was as well wearing them.
Well,
that swayed me.
Yeah,
I look a bit like Jamiroquai, actually, don't I?
You don't at all.
Oh, okay.
You look like just any guy that goes to Glastonbury. I'll be honest with you, faceless.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's not. No, it's not. I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying you don't look like Jamiroquai. You look like a space cowboy, though. Josh, going on that, what Sean said, was the musician, pop star, did that influence your decision in any way on the shirt?
Well, do you know what? I found myself quite a lot of the time liking the musician more than the shirt or vice versa. We can get a bit into that, the politics of whether the musician's music is quite up my street or more what they're wearing on their chest. Yeah, looking at my list, there were some obvious ones for near the top and obvious ones near the bottom. It was that middle bit that was a bit flipping back and forth a bit.
That always seems to be the way. Zeke, you'll know, being on the show a few times. It always seems like it's that middle stack. There's always the best. There's always the worst. It's just that middle order that seems to be the way. But for you, there was a definite loser, definite winner this week.
I had a top two and I had a bottom two, I think. And then the others all sort of merged into one. So it was just about getting them in. But yeah, I do hope that I've done it correctly this time, because I always sort of worry that I've done it the wrong way around, 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. So hopefully I've done it the right way around.
Looking at your list and from conversations on social media, you've definitely done it the right way around, mate, from this week. Good. Definitely done it the right way around. So obviously there's no Dom this week. He's jet setting around the world somewhere. I don't know where he is. And Jay obviously ranks at home, a little lone ranker that he is. I believe he was listening to all the artist music to try and figure out where he likes everyone. I don't know. That's just a rumor on the grapevine, though. Speaking of Jay from Retro, let's get our housekeeping in order and out the way. Retrofootballkits.co.uk. It's obviously Jay is the host on the content creator for their YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check them out. The link is always in the description of the video. They have thousands of football shirts. The football shirt I'm wearing and the two behind me are all from Retro. I get to go and raid their warehouse every Wednesday for the show. Make sure you go and check out the website, like I say, retrofootballkits.co.uk. They're slashing prices ridiculous now. They have a 10% sort of discount site-wide anyway off the market price of shirts. And you can go and get yourself an extra 10% as well off orders with the code TalkingKit10. So yeah, head over there and go and sort yourself out with some absolute fire kits that they have. So there we go then. Housekeeping's done. Let's get into this week's episode. So if you don't know what full kit rankings is, it's your first time watching, I've sent the guys here and obviously Dom and Jay 10 shirts that all have pop stars wearing them. So I'll send them a picture of the shirt and a picture of the pop star. So you get a feel of what it looks like on. Normally it's a player playing football, but that's not the case this week. It's a musician wearing the shirt. And then the guys send me back their scores from 1 to 10. Obviously, the shirt number 1 has 10 points and shirt 10 has 1 point. And then I score everyone's list and we get our final ranking. And that's what we go through and we get the opinions of everyone here. So, yeah. All right, let's get into this week's shirts then. And number 10 on our list with just 17 points is this. It is Pharrell Williams and the Juventus 2021 Human Race special shirt. There was obviously a collaboration with Pharrell, Adidas, and Human Race to make these shirts for Adidas's big teams. Obviously, this is a Juventus one because of this photo. obviously Pharrell wearing the shirt. There we go. Coolest man in the world. One of my favourite eyes. Someone who didn't like it, as you say, he only got 17 points. It's come dead last. Jay wasn't a fan of this. I think he spoke about this in one of his videos on his channel. And he says, hate these kits. They're stupid. They took iconic designs and ruined them with crayons. It's nonsense. So I've got a feeling he's not really a fan of these shirts. Someone else who agrees with him is Zeke. He also had it 10th place. We had a little bit of an exchange over Twitter about these shirts the other day. So for you then, Zeke, being dead last, do you think wearing these kits make you look a bit of a nerd? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, I'm not sure where the nerd comes from, but
Pharrell's in a band called NERD, Nerd. You see, that's where it is. It's a
there we go. I don't really know these sorts of things. I am with Jay there.
Okay.
I think the whole lot of them look awful. I think they have just ruined them all. I'm not sure what the idea was because it just looks really, really bad. And yeah, the actual Juve kit is really nice. So I almost put this higher just because of that, but okay. I just can't. It's really, really bad. There's nothing I like other than the fact that it's obviously pink. I think everything else is just horrific.
Okay. I mean, speak from the heart. Why not? Josh, let's come to you. I mean, it's obviously an abstract take on these iconic shirts. I've got the United one with the shorts. I will say the shorts have pockets, which is a win for me. You know, absolutely. You know, you can keep your phone in your pocket while you're playing a bit of football. What's not to love? For you, being in 8th place, do you kind of it's lower down on your list? Do you kind of agree with Zeke and Jay that they are a bit on the wrong side of right?
Yeah, I was toying with this one. It was always in my bottom 3, and I was changing it a little bit. And there's parts of it where I look at the sort of darker bleed into the sleeve, and I go, "Oh, that's nice." But then I look at that attempt at an Adidas logo, and it just looks horrendous, doesn't it? It's like someone's put too much ink on a stamp and just smudged it on. I get what they're trying to do. I think with pink kits as well, it's got to be, as Zeke said, like the original, it's got to be really nice and clean cut. And this, it's just a bit all over the place. I've seen the United one. It's a bit better. I don't think you're winning me over with the shorts argument, though, just because it's got pockets.
mate, honestly, it's a godsend. Let me tell you. I can be a full kit wanker with pockets. That's all I'm saying.
You don't have to tuck it in your socks then, do you?
Tuck what in my socks? It's not that big.
your iPhone 12, which
right, okay.
Yeah. You have to do when you're on a walk with a dog or something.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Josh. Sean, finally we'll come to you on it. Because like Dom had it in 5th place, you also did that. For you, is there something to like about these shirts?
No. So after listening to Jay's comments, I'm gonna put it lower. So I had it in 5th, I think. I'm gonna put it like 8th or 9th because on looking at it, it's not for me. It almost looks like you're not gonna play in it either. No players were issued it.
Who did wear it in games?
Oh, did they?
All of them apart from United and Arsenal, they just had it as warm-up tops, but all the rest, Juve, Bayern, Real Madrid, they all wore it in games.
Maybe outside the stadium, I'd think it was okay, but I wouldn't like to see it on the pitch. It looks like I've got a steak cooking chart at work, and you've got medium rare, and well done. It just reminds me of that. It looks a bit lost watercolor sort of thing. And I'm going to change my rating from 5 to 8 if I can do that. I know I can't, but I'm going to tell you now, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it still would have been last anyway, so it doesn't change anything. Obviously, we can't change the scores. But can we all agree that Pharrell does look pretty cool in it, though? I mean, if someone's going to wear it and make it look...
He could wear anything, though, and he'd look quite cool.
He looks very aged. He looks very aged there, though.
Well, he's 50 now. But he looks good for 50.
He's still probably fitter than Pogba though in a Juventus shirt.
That's Pharrell Williams in his Juventus 2021 human race shirt, not liked by the panel. Changing scores, early flip flop. It has come dead last this week with 17 points overall. One shirt beat it by only 1 point, and I am very disappointed that this has come so low in this list. I think it's a cracking shirt worn by a cracking artist. It's the Manchester United 09-10 shirt. Obviously worn, I've got it here with me. Obviously worn by the one and only Snoopy DOGG. I mean, he wore about 1 million kits, but this is the one I've chosen, obviously, for not to be biased or anything like that. But to say it's come 9th on our list this week, only 18 points, is quite disappointing. So let's go through the rankers. Dom, who isn't here, he had it in 4th place, being a United fan. That kind of like makes a little bit of sense. And Jay had it in 8th place. I like the chevron on the kit, and Snoop is an icon. We'll put it higher in your list then, mate, if you like everything about it. What are you doing? Going through the rankers, let's go to the United fan that's in the ranks other than myself. You got it dead on this week, Josh. You put it in 9th place. So for you then, you would drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, I know I'm a United fan, but biases aside, this isn't one of my favourites.
Okay.
Maybe the image, because the images it conjures up for me. Was it when Gary Neville and Paul Scholes kissed each other on the lips? Was it
after the Derby win? It is that kid.
Maybe it's that haunting image coming up. I think the chevron is just a bit naff, to be honest. And controversially, I always prefer us when we go a bit more red and white than red and black. So I don't know if it's something to do with that. I can't remember if we won the league this season. I feel like we didn't.
It's when we got cheated by, I think it was a game against Chelsea and Drogba scored an offside goal. There's no VAR and we lost the league by a point. It's when Rooney, I think, got injured or he...
Isn't it when he swore into the camera? Is it that season?
I think that was after that one. Yeah. I think this is the one where we got knocked out by Bayern in the Champions League, which I think he got injured and we would have won. And then because I think it's when he nearly missed the World Cup because of the metatarsal, Rooney, and we'd lost the league on a point. So we was nearly. It's one of his best seasons in the United shirt as well. Strangely enough,
maybe it's the subliminal disappointment that has gone in there. But yeah, not one of my favourite United kits.
No, fair enough, mate. And one player that springs to mind, and this is the reason why I don't like it, Josh. I agree. Gabriel Obertan. That's who I think of when
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Gabriel bloody Obertan. Yeah, that's who it reminds me of. Sean, speaking to a former United fan, you had this in 7th place. For you, does a chevron work? You know,
it kind of makes it different. It's like for a United kit. You got long sleeves there as well. You don't often get that, do you? No, it's one of the ones that just got pipped by my number 8.
Fair enough, mate. Our good friend Zeke, finishing off on you, pal. And you got a spot on as well, similar to Josh. Had it in 9th place this week. So for you then? Was it just because it wasn't the Norwich shirt, mate? Is that what it was? Bit of sour grapes?
Yeah, I mean, slightly bitter there, I think, because you easily could have picked our lovely number instead. But seeing it in long sleeved, that does always improve it. But just as a whole, it doesn't really offer very much. Okay. I don't mind the sponsor on this one. It's not too bad, but I seem to remember they do peel off quite easily.
They crack quite a lot easily.
Yeah. Which doesn't really help it either. But yeah, this was always in my bottom 2. It was just whether it was dead last or not.
Fair enough then. Well, there we go. Snoop Dogg crip walking his way into number 9 on our list this week. With just 18 points from our rankers. Right, 2 shirts now, joint 7th, both on 19 points. Jay won't be happy because it's his hometown club. Well, if he had a hometown club, he's a Chelsea fan from Birmingham. But if he's told me before, if he was a fan from a club from Birmingham, it'd be this. And it's Birmingham City and their 03-04 home shirt. Like I say, coming joint 7th on 19 points. Jay actually put this number 1 on his list. It tells you exactly what he thinks about the shirt and how biased he is this week. Because the first sentence is, Brummy bias, fuck you all. Which is, beautiful. Beautiful. Mike Skinner is the GOAT and this blue shirt is a lovely strip. I agree with the first bit. about him being a GOAT, because yes, he is. The kit, it's one of those, but it's just because it's Mike Skinner, and I had to put him in because the streets are the greatest. Now let's go to our rankers that are here. Zeke, let's start with you on this one, and you had this one in 7th place overall, so you've got it spot on this week. What was it about this you liked, or was it just a case of I just need to put this shirt somewhere?
So this was the last one that I was ranking. So I had basically picked all of the other spots, and this one then went in. I like aspects of it. I like the sponsor. That's probably because Norwich also had that as well. I also like Le Coq Sportif as well. They are really underrated. The issue with me is that it's blue and white. And not ideal as a Norwich fan. So this couldn't go much higher. I think if it wasn't blue and white, it probably would have come up a little bit. I don't think it is awful. I think it's actually okay.
No, mate, that makes sense. The colours of your enemies, so to speak. So I can understand why you've not ranked it so high. Someone who does love blue and white, he's wearing a lot of it tonight, is Sean. Sean, you had this one in 8th place. What was it then for this blue shirt that wasn't really cool enough for you, pal?
The colour's great. I like the old school collar. I like a symmetrical kit. It's just a bit basic, and compared to the rest of the kits, it just doesn't fare up. I like the streets. Mike Skinner didn't do enough for it to leapfrog the rest of them.
All right.
I wasn't blinded. I wasn't blinded by the lights, so to speak.
Josh, we'll finish off with you. Like Dom, you had this bottom of the pile this week, both in 10th place. Just a standard Birmingham City shirt in your eyes, I guess?
Yeah, the image before doesn't do it justice, but I guess following on from Sean, Mike Skinner does make it look fit, but you know it, doesn't he? It reminds me of the old school when I started collecting shootout cards and Birmingham were in the Prem. And I kind of like the sponsor, the badge, the flyby, but that's where it ends, in those sort of 10 inches across the chest. The rest of it, I think the collar's quite like PE sort of shirt collar. I would maybe look to rejig it with the Pharrell, but I'm going to stick with my decision. I'm not going to do a Sean. I'm going to stick with it.
Do you know what spoils it? The Dulux color chart underneath.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be there. If that was white or maybe black, I don't know. It just looked odd like that.
It's just a logo,
it looks a bit like the old school Everton ones as well. Like a kind of, with the collar up, I kind of get it, but it's that bit down from the collar. I'm like, that doesn't need to be that chunky.
Birmingham City joint 7th, and Mike Skinner on our list this week. Just not fit enough for our rankers, it seems. Moving on to the second shirt and artist that are joint 7th. Alongside Mike Skinner is this. I'm actually wearing it right now, and it's the Barcelona 13-14 away shirt, which was worn by a very cool artist who makes a lot of things cool. Tyler, the creator. I mean, I think I look better in it. I'm sure everyone will agree. Thank you for nodding, Zeke. I know you're lying, but it's fine. It's all good. We will go through our rankings. Good old Jay from Retro had this in 9th place. Love Tyler, but the kit is so average. I disagree, mate. I disagree massively on that one. And Dom had this one in 9th place. So not liked by those two. Let's go through everyone that's here. And let's start with Sean. Let's kick it off with you on this one. And you had this in 6th place. So it's kind of a middle of the road. Is it a colour scheme you like Barcelona wearing? They do it a lot nowadays, more so than they did previously. Is it something you like from Barcelona?
Do you know what? I think it's because I was ranking on the train and it was summery and hot. And the red and yellow are like summer colours, aren't they? I don't see a Barcelona shirt like this. They're not Barcelona colours. I actually thought, I thought it was Dizzy Rascal at first because I was on my phone. And then I read it was like, Tyler the Creator. Yeah, it's an average. It's average for me. It looks a bit too Turkish. Not that I have anything against Turkish. I mean, this looks like a Turkey kit for some reason, like Galatasaray or somebody.
I mean, Barcelona do a Senora shirt every single season now, but yeah, I mean, if you don't think it looks like a Barca shirt, then that's fair. Zeke, we'll come to you next on this shirt, and it was 5th place for you, 1 place higher than than Sean. How do you feel about the Senora kits from Barcelona? I think like this feels like it's the one that sort of kicked off that trend for them. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I feel like I do like the red and yellow. I like yellow anyway, for obvious reasons.
Obviously, yeah.
I think most people don't. It's not really a nice color, so maybe that is actually why. I'm not too keen on stripes on a shirt either, but I do like the sleeves. I like what they have done with those. So yeah, and this was sort of a case where I like it enough to have it not around the sort of bottom area. Not the best, not the worst, but it's all right.
Josh, finish off with you on this one, and it was your 7th place shirt, so you've nailed it this week. Yeah, did Barcelona create something great here?
Yeah, it's somewhere sort of in the middle, as my list suggests. I actually have to disagree with Zeke. I don't like the sleeves. They're giving me Watford in the Championship vibes. Not that that's a bad thing, but it quite often is. It's good for Barcelona, that hot weather, as Sean said, and I think he probably maybe was wearing it at Primavera Festival in Barcelona, I can imagine, to appease the crowd.
Yeah,
it's giving me like Rocket Ice Lolly vibes, but it's hard when you look at a Barcelona shirt to even think about it being that good compared to what the standard of their home shirts has been like in the past. So yeah, didn't quite reach the heights for me.
There we go then. Tyler Crater in his Barcelona 13-14 away shirt, coming joint 7th on our list this week with 19 points. Let's move on then to shirt number 6. 21 points overall on this one. I'm throwing it all the way back to the 90s. Spice up your life, guys, because it's Mel C and the Liverpool home shirt, 99 to 2000. The inspiration behind next season's 23-24's home shirt that they've just released. They wore against Aston Villa this weekend, the weekend just gone. But let's go through the rankers quickly. Dom had this in 8th place and Jay had it in 7th. And he says, the kit is simple and clean. Mel C kind of firing this photo as well. All right, put it away. Put it away. You meant to rank, not the other one. Yeah?
Need his eye testing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
He's getting it here, I'm telling you. Right, let's go through the rankings that are here. And let's start with, we finished with you on the last one, Josh. So we'll start with you on this one. What are you, being a United fan, what are your thoughts on this Liverpool shirt? What are your thoughts on Mel C? Is she fit? And do you like any Spice Girls songs?
Well, I actually believed that my auntie was Scary Spice until the age of 7. I was that naive as a kid and that into Spice Girls. I've ranked this. I feel bad being a United fan because I've ranked this quite high for it being a Liverpool kit.
You got it in 4th place?
I know, 4th place, which is not where they're going to finish this season at least, which is good.
Nope, that's good.
But first things first, I quite like the fact that she's modelling it in a gym because whenever I wear my football shirts on them machines, they look awful. So fair play to her. I like this. I like the clean cut is basically what I'm going off. The collar, the sleeves matching up. As you say, they're going to go and use it again next season. Hopefully it's one of those where they have a really lovely, gorgeous kit, but actually do awfully on the pitch. That's what I'm hoping for. And it just screams late 90s. So I'm a big fan personally, despite all the Liverpool connotations.
Yeah, they were really going for that sporty angle, weren't they? Throwing her in a gym, throwing a football shirt on her. Because I don't think I've ever seen anyone wear a football shirt in the gym, to be honest with you. Mainly because I don't go to gyms. Sean, let's come to you.
You can tell I never go to a gym because I thought she was on a roller coaster. I thought she was at a theme park. I think positives. It's 90s and it's simple, plain, symmetrical. I like all that.
You had it in 9th place, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive, but because I feel like I'm a bit too negative. But it's one of the worst Liverpool shirts I've seen. It's too baggy. I don't like the round collars and the round sleeves. It's very vicary. And whenever you see Michael Owen in it, it's always hanging off him. and he's quite fast, and you'd think it'd be tight and streamlined, and it just didn't fit him very well. I've never liked this kit. Sponsor's iconic, and that's about it.
Yeah, obviously the fit in the 90s was very baggy. I think every player was sort of 3 times the size. Obviously, they say, you buy a 90s medium and it's an extra large. I don't think they did anything other than an extra large in the 90s. For football fits, Zeke, how do you feel about 90s fits? How do you feel about this shirt? And how do you feel about the Spice Girls, most importantly?
Well, I'm not really a Spice Girls fan, unfortunately. This is not really up my street, but
good.
This, I feel like without the sponsor, it's a very average kit, isn't it, really? And I do like the rounded neckline. I'm not keen on the sleeves being made like that, because there will be lots of sort of material around the armpit, which can't be really very comfortable when you're wearing it. I think the Premier League patches put it up a bit, but I guess I need to sort of ignore those because that's not really what it is about, but they are really, really cool. I don't know where I actually put this in the end, but I feel like I might have put it too high.
You had it in, you had it 6th place.
Okay.
Not as high as me, and I'm regretting it now.
Yeah.
You sound so despondent there.
It was clearly the Spice Girls that made it so high, mate. You don't have to lie to us.
Yeah.
It's fine. For the interest of balance, Dom had this in 8th place as well. So I mean, apart from Josh, no one else had it inside the top 5. So it kind of tells you what they think of the Spice Girls in general. I think they're terrible and they shouldn't wear football shirts in gyms. Pretty much is what our rankers are saying to you today. 6th place overall, 21 points. And yeah, there we go. Mel C and the Liverpool 99-2000 home shirt. Moving on then to shirt number 5, and a bit of a jump up in points now. And got 30 points overall from our rankers. And it's this from Brighton. And obviously, the logo or the sponsor is a big clue onto who it is. It's obviously Norman Cook, a.k.a. Fatboy Slim. Big Brighton fan, as you can obviously tell. Our rankers this week had this shirt from Dom, had it in 7th place. Jay had it in 2nd place, this shirt. He says, great partnership. He's put a typo. He's put Flatboy Slim. Connections to Brighton. Absolutely love the skint sponsor as well. I hear it. I think it is a nice shirt. Going through the rankers. Zeke, let's start with you on this one. 3rd place for you. What are your thoughts surrounding this Brighton shirt and the sponsor? And do you like Fatboy Slim, I guess?
Yes, I do actually. And I actually watched him Boardmasters in Cornwall 4 years ago, I think it was. But yeah, so no, I think the sponsor is amazing. It's probably one of the best ever, I think. I feel like, the fact that it's obviously blue and white again doesn't help. And even that badge looks a lot like the Ipswich badge, especially if you're looking at it from back here. Like it does look like that. But no, I do like it. But I do think that the sponsor brings it up massively. But the collar's really good. I also like the material around the neckline. A lot of Norwich's 90s ones had that as well, which I think is really cool. I do like it.
Good stuff. Sean, coming to you next. And this was your number 10 shirt. So right here, right now, tell us why you think that.
No, you know what I'm going to say.
Change your mind.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I don't think we've had this many flip-flops on this show.
Is it number 1 now?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be 10.
No, it shouldn't. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I got your list and this was 10. I thought you must have a reason behind it.
I quite like the shirt. I like it a lot. I like that the sleeves are a different sort of like style to the front. Like there's not continue the stripes. You know what I mean? To change the angle a bit. Skint Records, I think it was a great partnership. Yeah, I need to change it. I'd wear that on a night out as well. And I saw Fatboy Slim at Glastonbury 2019.
I told you look like any other guy from Glastonbury. And so where would you put it now if you changed? Where would it go?
Let me get my list up. It's definitely better than you.
Just tell me a number. Just say a number.
5th, 4th.
There we go. Well, it comes 5th anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Josh, let's finish off with you on this one. Obviously, massive Brighton fan, massive icon in terms of music, especially British music. And yeah, I mean, his club are doing wonderful things now. Was this a wonderful shirt to go along with that back in the 90s? Obviously, you had it 3rd on your list.
Yeah, this one shot up the table fittingly, really, for me. The more I look at it now, the more it looks like one of those bags you get from the corner shop to put your sweets in or tinnies or whatever. And that's putting me off it. But I'm going to stick with my original thoughts. Love the sponsor. I think the logo's wicked. I love the little bit of red detailing on there. The collar's got something going on about it rather than the Mike Skinner Birmingham one. The only thing I'd say is that skin and the sponsor have got, they're very flat, aren't they? They're part of like that material, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's almost, it kind of gives that, well, I guess it gives 90s, but it gives almost like knockoff football shirt vibe. But there's a certain charm to that, I think.
Yeah, I think if it was a knockoff one, it'd say broke and not skin on it. I think you'd know the difference on there. But I get what you're saying. You know, the printed within the shirt, which kind of just gives it that sort of very lower league football shirt from the 90s. Absolutely. And I know what you mean. It looks like the Tesco bags with the red. It looks like those Tesco's bags from the 90s. That's exactly what it reminds me of. But coming in 5th place on our list this week, Fatboy Slim. Let's have another look at him. There he is, Norman Cook. With his Brighton shirt, his hometown club, 99-2000 home shirt, 30 points overall from our rankers. Right, let's get into number 4 on our list, getting into the Champions League places. Only beating it by 1 point. It's no moving boulder, but it is a rolling stone. It's Mick Jagger and the 1982 Scotland home shirt. I mean, we're going all the way back now. This is the long sleeve version. Mick wasn't wearing that. He was wearing a nice short sleeve on stage. Look at them lips going for it. Let's get into the rankers. It was ranked number 2 by Dom, and Jay had it in 5th place. And he says, a classy, classic shirt. Not much more to say. Fair. Don't say anything at all then, mate. Let's go into the rankers. Zeke, let's kick it off with you. And you had this one in... you had it in 8th place. What was it then that wasn't really your kind of thing about this shirt?
When I first looked at it, I was instantly thinking this must be high. But then when I actually looked into it and I actually properly looked at it, I was thinking there's not really a lot there. I guess that is because of the era. That's what it was back then as well. And
it's because it's blue as well, innit? That's what it is.
Blue and white. Yeah. In conclusion, blue.
Yeah.
The bad looks like it switches. Yeah, we know the dance.
It's the Alan Brazil links as well. It's too much. The Scotland and the Ipswich.
No, I mean there's just nothing really going on. I love the long sleeved, but it's just there's not really anything there, is there? And Umbro, even though they were really, really popular in the 90s, I think after that they didn't really do very much, and that itself doesn't look great either. I think the badge is quite cool, but yeah, it's just not really very good, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think the material, you see it in the picture with Mick Jagger, the material it's one of them shirts that would annoy me. And I don't know, I might just be, this reference may go all over your heads, but it reminds me of a film, an 80s Scotland film called Gregory's Girl. Don't know if any of you have heard of it.
Yeah, seen it.
Yeah, I know you would, Sean. It reminds me of that kind of film for some weird reason, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. It screams Iron Brew, and that's just not what I want to. It's not what I want to be seeing. Moving on. But it's not about me. Let's get into the rest of the rankers. Josh, let's come to you on this one next. And this was your 6th place shirt. You just one that you just kind of had to place. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too great. Just a middle of the road football shirt.
Yeah, similar to Zeke. I think there was sometimes when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that's nice, especially Mick Jagger wearing it. He wears it quite well. That picture's awful without Mick Jagger, though. It looks rubbish. It just looks like it would just stick to a coat hanger. I do have to say, I think it is a very similar material to what I'm wearing now, which is that more sort of woolen, almost inside, cotton inside, which isn't the most comfortable, I have to say. It's more about the shiny aesthetic, which I kind of like. Again, looks better in some lights. I think those, similar to Liverpool for me, is just quite clean, which I quite liked. Having said that, V-necks, you have to be doing a lot for a V-neck to be nice for me. So that's why it's slap bang in the middle for me.
Sean, finish off with you on this one. Third for you. You're a fan of Iron Brew and horrible feeling shirts and Gregory's Girl and
it looks like you could wash it a million times and it'd still stay the same.
Okay.
Those 80s shirts I like. The crest, I love the Scotland crest. It looks like it's been hand woven in there, not like today's. I like if it was all solid blue, it'd be okay, but I like the little thin white pinstripe on the sleeve as well.
Yeah.
And I think it does well as a classic kit. Like you could see McTominay wearing that.
Don't.
All right, sorry. Yeah. All right.
It's better than him wearing a United shirt.
That's true. That
Alan
true.
Hutton then. Alan Hutton.
Well, yeah. If you got to pull out a Scottish legend, you might as well go for Alan Hutton, innit? Do you know what I mean? Well, fair enough. Anyone else think that it's a bit weird Mick Jagger's wearing long johns on stage? Anyone else?
Yeah.
I just thought they were jeans, like really tight jeans. No?
They must be. They must be. Yeah, they just look like long johns. That's all I'm saying. He looks like he's cold on stage. Scotland, 1982. Mick Jagger on stage wearing it. It's come fourth on our list this week with 31 points overall from our rankers. Let's get into number 3. Really disappointed this is only third on our list. You'll see why in a second. Coming third with 37 points. It's Brazil. 1979, obviously Adidas. I mean, I meant to crop the photo. I haven't. So I apologize if anyone...
Mine don't look like that. I wonder why mine don't look like that.
Because you're not an action man. That's why. Going through the rankings, it's obviously Brazil. It's obviously Bob Marley. I mean, what a photo that is. And, you know, what a kit, I have to say, for obvious reasons. Going through the rankers, Dom had this in 6th place. Also, that's why. And Jay had it in... Where did Jay put this one? Jay had this in 6th place as well. The pair of idiots. Legend in a legendary kit. Only reason it's not higher is the fact the badge is lower than the Adidas logo. I knew it would be that. I knew it'd be something stupid that would have wound him up, and that's what it was. So there we go. Let's get into the rankers that are here and present. Josh, let's kick it off with you on this one. I mean, you're wearing a Brazil shirt. Thank you very much for that. You've gone up in my estimate. You're the best ranker here, mate, today for wearing that. Thank you very much.
Lovely shirt. You
had this one. This is your number 1 shirt, mate. I mean, you've got sense. Yeah. Tell everyone why this was the best shirt of the 10 that I sent out to you.
I mean, I just wish I could look like that wearing it. I'm wearing this and it's so tight and I look awful, but I love the look of these shirts, the high, thick green collar to it. The same with the sleeves. The badge is simple. I kind of like that it's just got like the little Brazil just above it. It's almost like an old school sort of drawing of when you would imagine what a badge would look like. Yeah, I think it's just classy and it's the classic gold. I mean, they have to do something pretty hideous with the Brazil shirts to really muck them up, but these are definitely top of the pile for me.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. If I'd have ranked, I think everyone knows this would have been not only just because of the shirt. I mean, Bob Marley's just, again, we spoke about Pharrell, but you know, Bob Marley just the coolest man. There's a reason why football teams love to make shirts around him. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty iconic and an iconic shirt. Sean, let's come to you next on it. Like Josh, you agreed it was your number 1 shirt as well. I mean, there's not much more you can say. It's just classic. It's just iconic. Yeah.
It was easy to put it first, and on looking at it further, I'm glad I put it first. Like, I didn't notice the tiny, like, how do you pronounce it? The trefoil.
Trefoil, yeah.
Trefoil. It's dead small. Don't even say Adidas, and it's not in line with that. But I like that. It's not in line with the badge. If you like covered half and covered the other half, it'd look like it should be all right. It's similar to the Scotland shirt. I love an 80s shirt. It is 80s, isn't it? Is it 80s?
79. So it's 70s.
Oh, close. But it's a classic. It just screams soccer, soccer, football, soccer. It looks great. It looks great wearing it. I'd wear it not on a pitch, but off a pitch. Like, there's no specifics. It's just apart from the Liverpool shirt's collar was shite. It's a similar collar, but it works on that.
It works a lot better. No, I agree with you, mate. Absolutely. Zeke, we'll finish off with you on this one. It was fourth on your list. I mean, it's the other two that have let it down for me. You got it top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more I can say. I mean, Brazil, it's 2 colours that you're very fond of, so I can understand why it's probably got a little bit high. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the shirt in general, really?
Yeah, I mean, the yellow and green definitely helped it, and I've always loved the Brazilian national team anyway, and that probably played a bit of a part as well. I think the trefoil as well is a really, really cool addition there, and I sort of wish that the Adidas logo now was still like that. I just think this is obviously it's not quite 80s, but basically it is. I don't think the 80s did a lot for me, really, in terms of the kits.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot more detail and like more going on. This is quite plain in a way, which I know that there are lots of people who do like that, but I like kits that are a bit crazy, a bit out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I also think you'd probably have to buy one that's like 2 or 3 sizes too big, in order for it to actually be the right sort of size for you.
Tell me about it if it's anything like the one I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, in terms of how it looks as a whole, I do like it, but I don't love it.
You're absolutely spot on. It's crazy how you went from the 80s, everything being like, you're right in what you're saying. They look like t-shirts with just a football badge on, and I'd have gone from, like you said, it's a large, but it's a small, to then the 90s and everything was XL, and then now we've gone back to everything being tight fitted again. But no, you're spot on with what you're saying, and it's come it's come 3rd place, so no winner, no cry for Bob Marley and the Brazil 1979 home shirt. I'm really just trying my best now for some puns, guys. I apologize. It's not my best work. It's not my best work. It's like Snoop Dogg on his 15th album. Not your best work. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just dialing it in just to get a bit of money in. But anyway, let's get into the rest of our list. I would say Bob Marley, Brazil, 1979, 3rd place with 37 points overall from our rankers. Moving on, we've got 2 shirts left. Interesting, this one. Next shirt, only by a point, got in 2nd place with 38 points. He's used to be number 1 all around the world. He's only number 2 on our list, and it's the Corinthians 3rd shirt from 2019. And the big man, it's Drizzy Drake. Where the photo that took... No, I got to say it before we get into this. So, literally, I was about to buy this shirt, and I think he posted this overnight. When I went to buy it, it had gone, because Drake posts something, it happened with the Juventus shirt. He posts it. People want it. People never heard of Corinthians. These people in the ghettos of America walking around with Corinthians shirts, no clue who they are. Whereas me, someone who supports Corinthians in a way, haven't got it. Shocking. So I hope you're happy, people of the ghettos of America, because you've broke my heart. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Right, let's go into the rankers aren't here. Jay had this one in... Where did he have it? He had this one in 3rd place. And he says, stunning kit inspired by the great Corinthians fans. Drake, a bit of a waste man, though. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Jay. He is. He's a bit of a waste man. Dom had this one in 3rd also. Sean, let's start with you. You had it in 4th place. You a fan of the shirt? I don't think you're a fan of Drake, are you? I can't imagine Drake's something you listen to. You're on mute, pal. You're on mute.
Well, that's embarrassing. I was just spitting out bars in as well.
Yeah, I bet you was singing a bit of a Hotline Bling, yeah?
I started from the bottom now. No, I love the shirt. I've ranked it in the past, and I love the messiness of it. Like it looks like a screwed up fish and chip paper, but it's not
in a good way.
But I like it. The red detail on it. I like a black shirt. Do you know what? Drake's all right to listen to. Not a fan of himself, but yeah, I love the meaning to the shirt as well. Like a print on it. It's a good shirt. It's ranked high.
Well, yeah, as it should. Zeke, let's come to you on this one. And it was you got it spot on this week, mate. Second place shirt. I mean, Sean touched on it there. It's Corinthians are a club that are so involved in their fan culture. They've done so many shirts that involve Sao Paulo and the fans. And this one, if you're a fan of this club, it just hits the mark in it every way, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think Brazilian football as a whole is crazy because obviously everyone loves it, and I just love that. And it's just I think the atmospheres are always better than like England, and they all just love it. And I think this is really, really cool. I did have this once, but I got it in XL and it was massive, like really, really big. I'm not really sure why it was that big. But no, I really like the writing on the sleeves and near the bottom as well. And that massive badge as well is really, really cool, and it stands out. Yeah, the black and white, I love that. I think the only thing is, I think I would have liked maybe a white neckline and cuffs.
Yeah.
I think just to sort of tie it all up, and then that one would be really, really good. Still lovely though.
Josh, let's finish off with you with this one then. It was 5th place on your list. So does this shirt and this artist not make you want to do one dance?
Oof. I actually think the one dance era painfully was his best era, or just before that when he was collaborating loads. He needs to go away for ages, but that's my opinion on Drake. This shirt can hang about a bit, but isn't my favourite. It started higher for me, actually. And then the more I looked at the other shirts and the more I looked at this, I think Zeke made a good point. That I want that collar and the sleeves to just do a bit more and bring it in together, border it a bit more. I actually think the badge as well, I want that to like emerge itself a bit more into the design. I think they could have been a bit clever with that rather than just plonking it on like a Scouts badge. It kind of gives me a bit, it's kind of like training top type vibes. Yeah. Like really cool concept and idea, and I love the thought behind it. It's one of those where it's like you look at it and I look at Drake wearing it and I think, oh, he looks cool in that. But I reckon if I wore that, I'd look terrible.
I don't agree, mate. I think you look great in it. You're looking great in that Brazil shirt. I think you look great in a Corinthians shirt. Well, there we go then. Second on our list from Sao Paulo to Toronto, it's the Corinthians. 2019 third shirt as modelled and seemingly put out of stock by Drake, posting it on his Instagram. I love it. I have to say, it's one of my favourite shirts. Hopefully, it's going to be in my collection one day soon as well. So yeah, we've got one shirt left and one shirt only. Did I tell you where Dom had this? He had it in third, didn't he? Yeah. One shirt left. Let's get into it then. It got 45 points, which is an amazing score out of a possible 50. And it probably deserved to be number one. He's probably the biggest artist in the world right now. And he's wearing the best shirt on this show. It is, of course, Ed Sheeran and the Ireland 1994 home shirt. This is long sleeve and without the sponsor, which, makes it, for me, a million times better. But obviously, good old Ed was wearing it on stage with that classic Opal sponsor and short sleeve. Let's go through the rankers that aren't here. And Jay, 4th place. I don't know why. One of Ireland's best ever kits had to be behind the list. It probably had to be higher, Jay. I've got to be honest with you, mate. Probably had to be higher. Dom had this number one. Let's go. Who should we go with? Let's start with Josh. Let's start with you on it. It was second in your list. It was just beaten by Brazil and Bob Marley. So for you, again, it's just a classic 90s, great looking shirt.
Yeah, these were my top two the whole way through when I was toying between the other places. Yeah. I think it just does so much. The sponsor, the details of orange in there on the colour and the badge. The detail as well with the different layer of, I don't know what you call it, but like the shimmery like material behind the badge, sort of on the top half. Yeah, it's a lot clearer in that. Yeah, it's just a wicked kit. Like you could wear that anyway and anywhere and look brilliant, couldn't you? Big fan. But yeah, just narrowly pipped by, I think actually the artist, this is one of those where the artist came into play and I preferred Bob Marley in Brazil than Ed Sheeran in an Irish shirt as well. Ed Sheeran, I never know who he supports. Is he a Chelsea or an Ipswich fan? I never know. He's been seen at both matches. He sponsors the Ipswich team, and then he's sort of a Chelsea fan. So that goes down in my ratings a bit.
Yeah, as I imagine it will Zeke as well. We'll come to you in a minute, Zeke. Sean, let's come to you next on it. You've got that Irish heritage. It was always going to be high on your list, I guess. Second for you as well. Another, I mean, 90s Ireland shirts were beautiful. This just fits alongside all of those, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah, and that era of football goes deep with me. Also, the Irish connection. Might be a bit biased. I think it works with the sponsor. I don't often say that, but I think that breaks the kit up a bit. I only found out Opal was from Vauxhall like a few years later. That's another story. Classic green shirt. I think you could wear it any era.
Yeah, I've not really asked you about night out rating on this one.
I'm wearing that every night. I like 10 out of 10. I think it was like that first or second. Yeah.
I have just remembered Ed Sheeran's actually got Irish blood in him, hasn't he? So I was maybe a bit harsh before. Oh
well. Zeke, let's finish off with you. I mean, no one had it outside the top 5. You and Dom both had it number 1. So I'm guessing for you, this would fit the shape of you, mate. Yeah.
Love that from you. Yeah. So this one went straight to number 1. I love both of the long and the short versions, and I like that this one has the sponsor, and like it's already been mentioned, when international kits don't really ever have that. I do think this really, really works. But then I like that the long sleeve doesn't have one. I think it looks really, really clean. That design is really awesome. Badge, collar. I love how it has the Irish flags as well. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I mean this is very, very good. I don't have this, but I feel like I need it. I feel like I do. It's just lovely, isn't it?
It's absolutely stunning. I had the away to this for the World Cup, the white with the green stripes that kind of faded out. Man, let me tell you, what a shirt. A great World Cup for Ireland, obviously beating Italy in the US. Hopefully they can be at the next World Cup. That would be great for them. But it's come top of our list, the Ireland shirt from 1994, as modelled by Mr. Edward Sheeran there, lovingly. Coming top spot from our rankers. What a shirt and what a list. And it's been a good one. I will do my due diligence. I put the numbers wrong because I thought, for some reason, that the bottom shirts were both. I don't know why it's not zooming. There we go. Anyway, there's everyone's scores, the shirts and the scores. You can see I don't cheat. And I do my due diligence on everything. There we go then. That is the end of that. That is the end of this week's episode. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for ranking alongside us. Hit the comments. Let us know what you thought of our final list. If we got any of the shirts wrong. Maybe there's some artists and shirts that we maybe missed and we can do a round 2. That would be great. We need to do that Snoop Dogg episode because he's wore a million shirts. So we can always do a Snoop Dogg wearing football shirts. And then, Zeke, we can get the Norwich shirt in for you, mate. And you can have a good rank over that. But yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to the rankers for stopping by. Sean, as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you, mate. You've not had the smile off your face. It's obviously Stockport have made you very, very happy this week. So enjoy Wembley, and I imagine we'll be back before then, won't we?
I'll be back Sunday night. I'm driving down.
Oh, well, enjoy it, mate, and I hope you come back a League One side.
Come on,
anything you want to say? Promote?
just watch us on Sky Sports on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Okay. Zeke, I love having you here, my friend. Thank you for coming back again. I've been stalking you a little bit, or mithering you every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks, saying, "Are you free? Can you come on? Are you free?" And you finally come on, mate. So thank you very much for that. Where can people find you? Where do you live? What's going on? Not where do you actually live, but where do you live on the internet? Where can people find you? Obviously.
Well, I sort of live online, really, don't I?
We all do.
Yeah, which is not very healthy, but yeah, I'm on Twitter, obviously, at Knock 'em Downs, Instagram as well. Yeah, I don't need to really plug me. We don't need to be doing that. No, we need to be liking this, subscribing, all the good stuff. That is why we're here, Yeah.
What a guy. What a hero. Thank you very much, mate. You've done my job for me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. As always, you're welcome here in the Rank Bank, mate. It's a pleasure to have you on every single time. Someone else, it's a pleasure to have had here. Josh, mate, what a legend. Thank you so much for coming by, stopping by, and getting involved and ranking. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, where can people find a bit more about you, and where are you on the socials, so to speak?
Well, I feel like I should plug Zeke first and foremost, because I've been following your page for a while, Zeke, and my God, your collection, the jealousy. Don't follow me for a collection of football shirts. I've got about 10, but I do rotate them, and that's usually what you can see me wearing at JJ Shreve, and I do a radio show all about the music linked to football on Voices Radio as well. So hopefully there might be some more artists we can pluck from there and do a round 2.
Let's do it. Yeah, and you have to be on here. We'll have to have this same lineup as well, just so Zeke can do that. Not Norwich shirt. I feel really bad now that he's not had it in. But no, all 3 of you, thank you very much for being here. If it is your first time talking kit, maybe it's not. Zeke's done it better than I can. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your kit loving friends. We'll be back for another full kit rankers, delving deep into the rank bank for 10 more shirts. We've also got Desert Island kits. There's a few more episodes popping up soon, so make sure you stay locked for that. Hit the bell notification for every time that we drop content. It's been great to have you here, but as always, whatever you do in your life, in love, in lust, in hating Ipswich shirts, in loving Bob Marley and Brazil, just make sure that you keep talking kit.